Woo! Oh wait, we're in the wrong. Much better. There we go. Hi. Welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where the tea is piping hot and we're always ready to spill. I'm Logan Murphy, just a gay, here with G Fuel. Nobody is surprised by this, but I need it because I just came out of a 3-hour podcast recording, which will already be up by the time this episode goes up. So check out our Eurovision Semifinal 1 review.
Love that. And I am odd. I have taken the blue pill today. I want to wake up in my bed tomorrow with no memory of what has happened today. And I'm excited to talk Drag Race.
Love that. And I am Brandon. It's been an interesting couple weeks, I'll say. Today I have not bubbly, but AHA sparkling water.
AHA sparkling water.
It's peach and honey, so...
Oh, period.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
See, I love that Odd took the blue pill. Brandon and I are wearing blue. Like, it just kind of, it all works.
And it's a blue background.
It's a blue background. Everything works today.
Totally.
Well, we have 2 weeks of Drag Race to talk about, y'all, because, you know, life is difficult sometimes.
Very.
And we just didn't record last week. So, you know, here we are. 13 and 14 episode numbers. We've got a roast to talk about. We've got a remix to talk about. And we have our finalists. All of them.
Woo!
We'll talk about it. But first, make sure to subscribe, like, follow, all that stuff. I don't normally say that at the beginning, but I remembered to today.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, okay, so let's just dive in. Episode 13, we start the episode, and no one went home because Golden Chocolate Bar. That's where we... Don't die, please. You took the wrong pill on!
I did, and I'm usually so good about muting myself when I have to make, like, extra noises.
Oh, you're good,
it was
babe.
not happening.
I luck out in that I have my external Morgan McMicrophone, if you will, and I can mute myself from her, so that's always lovely. But yes, Bosco has the Golden Chocolate Bar, so we still have 7 queens.
How wild!
Which, like, I'm cool with. I don't care.
I'm cool
happy.
with it.
I'm happy it was used. I'm happy we saw it, and I'm happy it wasn't wasted.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, at this point, it's kind of like, because there's always the thing of like, and I go back and forth over like, if I think that they just need to eliminate people each week, or, you know, if I'm like, it's fine. Because either way, in my head, I'm like, either way, so only one person is going to win. Exactly. But honestly, I'm not sure at this point.
Well,
like, I feel like they're going to give it a multi-crown.
Are they going to pull an All-Stars 4 again?
I think they're going to go more. I think every girl who made it to the finale, they're going to be like, a winner for you, a winner for all. We're going to give it to everyone.
Well, I don't think they're going to do that anymore. Did y'all see the prize money has increased?
Yes.
So
yes.
now, first place is going to get $150,000.
How crazy.
Sponsored by Cash App. Mm-hmm. And the runner-up gets $50,000.
I saw all the runner-ups posting. They were like, "Do I get kind of reverse money back?"
I saw Candy get it. I saw Peppermint tweet about it. I was like,
so
I'm
funny.
like, Candy especially should be like,
yeah,
really?
Seriously.
A year later, I'm just like, where's my check?
Honestly. Yeah. But I'm very, very happy that they finally made this move to do that. Yeah. Because, like, we've been asking for or at least I've been asking for a runner-up prize for a while now. And honestly, this whole season has kind of felt like the producers actually finally listening to the fandom a little bit. Like, just a little.
Just a little.
But, like, increased backstory on most of the queens. Like, I know a good chunk about most of the queens on this season. We had lip syncing as a main challenge, which is something I've asked for. Prize money increase. I'm very happy we're getting back to what seems to be a traditional finale format.
I hope. I hate lip sync for your life, or the like head on head in the finale. I hate it. It was cool season 9, but not because it like destroyed Shea Coulee's chances of winning. That was devastating.
But it destroyed Shea Coulee's chances of winning.
But the only time that it was actually like, oh my gosh, this is crazy for me was season 9. Every other season, it's like,
I would say 11 for me had a similar but lesser impact. But that's the only other time that I've really felt anything from it. Well, and obviously, like, butterflies on season 10, like, that's a gag-worthy moment. But, like, 11 for me, I think just because the final 2 ended up being Evie and Brooke, like, that was what did it for me in that regard. And then 13, no. So I've heard some things. I'm not going to say anything, obviously, because we know Brandon doesn't like spoilers. But I've heard some things, and if these things turn out to be true, I think I'm going to be very happy because, again, I don't know if I'm just like a specific part of the fandom or if I'm like in tune with the thoughts of the rest of the fandom. But it seems like the finale is also, again, things that I've been asking for a while with the finale. So I'm excited. We'll talk about that in 2 weeks when we get there. But yes, Bosco, Golden Chocolate Bar, Daya, still pissed, but what else is new? Next day in the workroom, and there's still 7 queens. And but we get a mini challenge with Norvina from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Yeah, because she's like problematic, right?
Yes. I'll get into it a little bit, but I don't know if you all know.
As of recent.
Yeah, as of recent, but at the time of recording this, it was just like, ooh. But under the YouTuber named Smoky Glow, who I watch, who I love.
Love Smoky Glow. Shout out Smoky Glow. We love you. You're fabulous.
Yeah, she talked about the evolution of Anastasia Beverly Hills and a lot of stuff that's happened recently, and things have been very shaky, and that's all I'll say about that because
I haven't actually watched that video, but I need
you need to like take time.
Her videos are like you have to sit down with like a glass of wine and like not have anything going on in the back of your mind and just like focus because it's a lot of information.
Yeah, it is. I watch it before bed.
I love that. As of recent, I've been watching women's gymnastics before bed.
Oh my god, that. The elite or NCAA?
The NCAA. I'm fully caught up on the regionals now, just in time for next weekend to be the national final. Yeah. So I'm like, we're chilling, we're good.
Yes, and okay. So what's funny about this, like them promoting this new palette because it's still,
Oh,
I can't.
Brandon, you muted yourself, babe.
I know. I mean, oh my god, I hate myself. Anyways,
it's one of those days, y'all. Sorry, like it's just one of those days for all of us.
Anyways, okay. So what I was saying earlier. So the palette that they're promoting, which is it the volume?
It's the Norvina
volumes 5 or
Glow. 6? The Norvina Glow palette, I think, is what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, because that came out when that palette came out when they were filming. So so it's been out already, and they just announced volume 6, and it's just like, okay,
yeah.
So what do we think about this challenge?
I thought this was dumb and stupid, and I loved it. Minus the Anastasia Beverly Hills of it all. I thought this was dumb and stupid, and I love it, and that's what I want in a mini challenge.
I don't like mini challenges. I really don't. I like the reading challenge, but otherwise it's just like let's just.
I mean, they had budget, but
they had budget. I mean, no. So the mini challenge is split into 2 groups, and conveniently we have all of the queens of color and all of the white queens. And I don't think that was intentional.
It was not.
Because it was DeJa, I think, that grabbed Angie and Jorgeous.
Yes.
And so then everybody else was kind of left on their own. And then the queens of color got to paint RuPaul, and the white queens got to paint Dolly Parton. And the irony was not lost on me. I know this wasn't intentional. It's so funny the way it worked out.
This was a mural that already exists?
This was a replica of a mural that exists in Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay, because there was a moment where I was like, This is kind of random, no?
So I know. So I have a friend.
They don't have Dolly here.
Yeah, so I have a friend in North Carolina who has like sent me photos of this, and it's like
Okay.
it's really pretty and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is all a replica. It's I love the dumb, fun, and stupid mini challenges. Like my favorite mini challenge of all time, honest to God, is the potato sack race from season 11. Where Suga and Nina are just like bouncing their titties, and because the fake titties, obviously, and then because Evie had her ankle injury the week before, she just has to stand in place and just like shake her titties but not move, and it's just so dumb and stupid, and I love it. And like that's what I love about like Drag Race mini challenges is I like the reading challenge. Obviously, I love. The puppet challenge. I wish we had gotten this year because I think this would have been a really good,
it would have
a
been
good cast to do it with. Because I would have loved like if Camden had pulled Angie or something, and then whoever got Daya Betty would probably win the challenge.
Oh yeah,
probably
because like that's obvious. But this also isn't like a comedy group of girls that we got. Like the camp queen was sent home like what, 5th?
Who was the camp queen?
Maddie Morphosis.
Oh.
Remember Maddie Morphosis?
Yes, I think she was 4th technically.
It's been 84 years since
it's been 84 years.
No, she's 5th because I think Cornbread was 4th.
Oh, okay.
Technically, because it's June and then Alyssa, sadly, and then Orion again. And then Cornbread goes home the same episode Maddie gets eliminated.
Oh, okay.
I believe. Cornbread was either 3rd or 4th. I don't remember, but whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you know, I thought this challenge was dumb and stupid and like whatever, honestly. And then Team Dolly Parton ends up winning because DeJa rudely contours RuPaul's nose. And that is, I believe, the only reason their team lost.
Yeah. I mean, the only compliment they got was the teeth. That's it.
Literally. And so we go back to the workroom. The maxi challenge for the week is the Ross Matthews roast. Which, like, sure.
Roasts make me so nervous because it's like this is how I feel going into comedy shows though. Also, I'm like, we just have to support these people. Like they're putting their whole entire souls out there. Like, what if they bomb? Like, it gives me so much anxiety, stuff like this. Yeah. And so I'm just like, I hate. It's like Snatch Game. Yeah. There's a lot riding on it. If you fail, you really fail. Yeah. I don't love the roast. Like when they're good, they're really funny. Yeah. But it's just so hard to do really well.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult doing a roast because a roast is a very specific form of stand-up comedy. Where like honestly, I wish they would do more of like what they did with season 12 with what I call the Whoopi Goldberg challenge. Like just say you need to do a comedic sketch. Period. And let the queens like this is another way like it's very similar to like the talent show in a way where like you give them the baseline of, oh, do a comedic sketch. And you can go in like millions of directions with that. But with a roast, it all has to be so specific. And we'll talk about it. Most of the jokes were directed at Michelle Visage.
Yeah, I was going to say about that.
I wrote down most of the jokes, and most of them are directed at Michelle Visage, which I'm not mad at because Michelle's a very easy person to roast. And she's like, whatever. What I was upset about, we'll talk about it, no one made a Celebrity Big Brother joke.
Oh, yeah. I
don't know what joke you could have made, but if someone had made a Celebrity Big Brother joke, I would have been like, that's my winner for the challenge. I don't care.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting to me because obviously the three of us were very in touch with reality TV.
Of course,
but Big Brother and Survivor are just shows that like a lot of people really don't know about them.
You know who I want to see on Survivor now because it's a drag queen who's
Monet
Exchange.
Yeah,
Monet would do amazing. I think
absolutely.
Yes.
I still wish they had put Shangela over Todrick Hall in the CBB3 house.
Honestly, Honestly. Oh, even
CBS
Jada.
probably
Even
would do that too.
Jada was the other person I was gonna say. Put the essence of Paul in the house. Like
no
so
joke.
good.
Jada and Jeremy even said like they could love to be in the Big Brother house.
my God, Jeremy would
Yeah.
do so
Amazing.
well.
Amazing.
Truly would be finally embraced for being a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because he would be the good villain.
Yes.
He would be the villain that we would all root for. Like,
Totally. Be so good.
Yeah, honestly, like I would have loved Jada. Like even Jada tweeted, it's like I would love to be in the Big Brother house. Like I remember her tweeting that, and I was just like, please do this.
Jada,
CBS.
Monet, Bob, Shangela, Kim. Kim was rumored, and I was like,
well, Kim actually watches the stuff too,
Yeah.
and so Kim Chi would be good. Peppermint, I know, watches CBS. Nina West watches CBS.
Oh my God, Nina West on Big Brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So there are a couple girls from the franchise who do watch the shows, but like just overall, people just really have no idea.
You know who I think would be so fun, and yet she'd probably fizzle out early, but I would love to see it. Mrs. Kasha Davis.
I would see it. I would see that.
I think that's just because I love Mrs. Kasha Davis, honestly. Or like even someone like, honestly, put Jujubee in the house.
Oh, I bet Jujubee would do really well.
Jujubee, someone like, Chanel. Put Chanel in the house. That'd be fun.
that would be fun, yeah.
Well, because they've had a drag queen on a Big Brother version, because Rita Baga from Canada's Drag Race did Celebrity Big Brother Quebec.
Oh.
She did not do well. She did not do well. But they made her do a wall comp in full drag.
Oh, wait.
Well,
I think I saw a picture of that.
Courtney Act won.
And Courtney won BBUK, yeah.
How crazy.
But do we talk about that version, though?
Yes, we do. I love BBUK.
Okay, just want to make sure.
I absolutely love one of my favorite seasons of BBUK, coming back to Drag Race, is the one with Michelle Visage.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it also has Perez Hilton, Katie Hopkins, Kate Price Love, because Kate Price ended up winning the season Love, and Michelle got like 5th, and I was sad about it. But anyway, the roast. So team
reeling it back in.
Honestly, hey, tangent. Remember tangents? Hey,
yeah, but it's relatable since Ross was on Celebrity Big Brother.
Thank you. It all comes back together. Michelle coached the roast. We'll get there. But for winning the mini challenge, all of Team Dolly Parton gets to pick the order. There are 4 queens picking the order for 7 queens. It goes fairly smooth. Bosco decides she wants to go first, which honestly, if I was ever on Drag Race and had a roast challenge, I got to pick the order, I would absolutely go first.
Me too. First or second. I'm very much, even with presentations at school, whenever I was in school, I would be like, please let me just go first. I can't handle the anticipation. I just need to get it over with. Yeah. Very much that. I would not want to be last. Or even in the middle. I would want to be one of the first few.
Yeah. We see Miss Strategic Mastermind, Willow Pill. Again, Willow, someone great in the Big Brother house. Anyway.
So good.
So Willow is like, I don't really care where I go. I just want to go after Jorgeous. The smartest thing. Because at this point already, Jorgeous had given up. And we'll talk about it more. Jorgeous gave up in this episode. But like, we'll talk about her roast, which I actually didn't think was all that bad.
Honestly.
But Willow strategically puts herself third, where Jorgeous is second. And then Camden is like, ooh, do I want to go last? Ooh, I don't know if I want to go last. Ooh, I don't know. Okay, I'll do it. And honestly, it kind of worked out for Camden a little bit.
Honestly.
But I would like to take a good amount of time to talk about the icon, legend, and star that is Dulce Sloan.
So good.
Hello.
So good.
I'm adding her into the rotation. The rotation of fabulous Black women that I want as recurring guest judges.
Honestly.
Her, Lonnie Love, Lizzo, Nicole Byer, T.S. Madison, and Leslie Jones. I just need the 6 of them.
Okay.
You'd get like 2 episodes a season.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 with how many episodes we're probably going to get a season 15 with like 47 queens.
Well, the real did just get canceled, so maybe Lonnie has some free time to commit
to
becoming a full-time judge.
Yeah. I'm sad about that. Side note. I don't want to dive into it further, but I liked it. I liked the real.
For
anyway.
a daytime talk show, it was cute.
Solid.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Michelle and Dulce are coaching everybody through the roasting situation. Not much really happens other than they shut down every joke that DeJa has.
Yeah.
Daya does a lot better in rehearsals than she ends up doing. We'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
And there was someone else that they just...
There was a joke that they might not have just shown it in the final edit, but there was a joke that Camden did that I thought was so funny against Michelle that she did in the rehearsal about, it was something about dancing, I think, towards Michelle, but then I didn't hear it in the like final cut, but I was like, oh, so funny.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, not much else happens. The workroom, Bosco's excited to go first, and Jorgeous has given up. Is like pretty much the narrative. But shall we dive into the roast?
Yeah,
let's do it.
Let's do it.
And we're also going to dive into the runway looks because I put them together on the same slide.
Okay.
So,
excuse me.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I blame the carbonation with this.
The ghost of Tyra Sanchez just came out of Brandon. Hello.
We're letting it all bear out today.
Honestly, sure. It's one of those episodes, y'all. Like it's one of those days. But so we'll talk about the roast. Wait. Vodka? We all have to have vodka for the finale. I'm making that a requirement. I'm making that a requirement for at least myself and Brandon.
Yes.
So we'll talk about the roast. We have the roast looks as well. And then the category on the runway is too much. Another runway category that most people didn't do.
Yeah.
But first up is Bosco. Bosco. Who did a good job.
I personally, I did think Bosco, I laughed the most during Bosco's, but it's always like, I only watched Bosco, I didn't rewatch the episode or anything, so I couldn't go back and be like, okay, like, let me actually analyze this. Based on just first impressions, I did like Bosco's the most.
See, I went back and watched it right before we recorded.
Okay.
Because I couldn't really remember anything. And I knew there were funny jokes and I wanted to point them out here. So what I wrote, she does the blah, blah, blah. I've been told to go home more times than Michelle has been told to leave the UK. I've been told to go home more times than RuPaul has been turned down when she has a new song. I thought that was kind of cute. The big glaring issue with Bosco's performance for me, honestly, is the blatant stealing of Bianca Del Rio's joke.
Yeah.
I'll show you versatility when Santino wins a sewing challenge and Michelle wears a fucking turtleneck.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, I'll show you versatility. Yeah, I'll show you versatility when when Willow passes a drug test and when Jorgeous wins an acting challenge and passes a drug test.
I screamed at the Willow one because I was just like,
oh. I screamed at the Jorgeous one because I thought it was really good. But also, like, that's just my biggest issue is, like, none of this felt original to Bosco.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way that, honestly, I thought Candy won the roast on season 13, but I also thought Candy reused a lot of jokes that we've heard in the Drag Race canon before. And so it was a little bit frustrating for me with, spoiler, Bosco winning the challenge, when I actually thought there was a little bit more uniqueness in the roast out of a few other people.
Yeah.
So, and then I did like Bosco's joke saying that when Rue calls herself Verse, it means she's both hunter and gatherer.
Oh, that was a good one.
I thought that was funny. And that Ross isn't a top, he's a blouse. Like, those were the ones that I wrote down.
I also screamed at that one.
It was good. It was good. It just like there was not a lot of uniqueness to it, but her delivery was very good.
Very.
Yes.
And I liked her runway too.
There's something missing for the runway, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think it's part of her head because
Mm-hmm.
It's a tutu though, at least, which
it is a tutu. It is I guess a tutu, and by tutu I mean just a spinning wheel cutting her body in half.
Mm-hmm. It's a good concept. What is it necessarily tutu? Probably not.
It's not too much. I think it's tutu. I would have loved. I think I needed more like rhinestone blood. I think it's maybe because the bottom half is just legs.
No, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And as good as her legs look, I think her legs look great. There's a little bit of a disconnect, quite literally, from the top to the bottom of her body.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Yeah, that's true.
What is that called? What are those called? Slicey wheels?
Razor blades?
Is that it? I don't know.
I know it as a saw cutter, so...
Saw blades. Circular saw blades.
Mm-hmm.
It's a circular saw blade. That's
Made from Avatar. It's what she throws, right?
No, not that one.
Anyway, Bosco looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm, yeah. All I can think of this cutter is because I've been playing a lot of the new Kirby, so the cutter ability. So that's how I distinctify this. So
gorgeous like Jorgeous. Okay. I wrote down her jokes. We can all admit the delivery, not good.
Mm-hmm.
The delivery
I loved her hair during the
She
room.
looks stunning here. The
loved
pigtails.
It so much. I'm a sucker for pigtails.
She
look
says,
so cool.
Yeah, among other jokes, she says that Camden looks like the Crimson Chin, which was a joke for our generation, which I love.
I actually like that one.
I really like that one. Michelle's plastic surgery is older than her. I thought was a funny...
There was a moment, too, okay, when Michelle said that she hasn't had plastic surgery, was that during this moment?
Yes.
Or during critiques?
No, it was during this moment.
Because I guess there's like a looseness into what people define as plastic surgery. But I feel like Michelle has, and like I'm very pro
sure,
own the plastic surgery. Like I think why not say that you've had it? And I don't think Michelle necessarily is someone who does deny when she gets plastic surgery. But here she did, because she's definitely had her boobs done at least.
Well, boobs and then boobs out. But I wouldn't consider that plastic surgery. I would consider that reconstructive. At this point now. Mm-hmm. I would have considered it plastic surgery prior to, her...
when she just got them put in?
Yeah, when she got them put in. But then getting them taken out, I would then transition that into more reconstructive because it was, life-saving. So it's a fine line. I think her definition is more so in the face. And while I don't think she's had any plastic surgery, I know that woman has had Botox at least 3 times in her life. So, and I wouldn't necessarily consider Botox plastic surgery. For me, that's you're getting your chin.
Physical enhancement.
Physical enhancement. You're getting your nose done. You get your cheeks done. And I don't think she's had any of that. I could be very wrong, but that's at least what I got from it.
Yeah, totally.
She says she's known about Drag Race since she was in diapers, and now Ru's in diapers. I thought that was funny, honestly. And then we heard this joke in the rehearsal, which got changed, thank God. We're not even going to talk about the other joke, but Ross losing all the weight. How's the baby? In the end, that joke turned out funny.
Yeah, we didn't need another Jocelyn moment. We did not.
Honestly, no, I still would have put Jorgeous in the bottom 3, I think. Yeah, but Jorgeous for me was the 5th best. Definitively 5th best.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm how many people were there? 7?
7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, still would have been bottom 3, but just
there were 2 people I thought were worse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, same.
Yeah, didn't love the runway.
Not tutu.
It's not a tutu. It's a flounce dress.
Yeah, totally.
But she looks good.
Yeah, she's great.
But it doesn't fit the runway category. So
yeah, we move
to Willow Pill. Starting out with a joke about Rue sacrificing Jorgeous to get 7 more years of life. She does a whole series of like, Daya is the child of Ozzy and Sharon. Camden is the child of a brother and sister. That killed me. She says Michelle is a singer, a dancer, and an actor, and only 3 of those are lies. A really good joke. Carson Kressley's arch enemy, Ross Matthews, another funny joke. And then calls Angeria, saying that she has the grace of Diana Ross and the beauty of Rumpelstiltskin. Honestly, I thought Willow should have won the challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, better jokes for me. Like, that's why I thought Willow should have won.
Not as good. I will say the delivery wasn't necessarily. I think words. I liked Bosco's delivery better than Willow's, but I liked Willow's jokes more than Bosco's.
Yeah,
I can get behind that totally.
So, and then this runway look,
so cool. If it came down to runways, Willow I think should have won. I liked it.
Is this tutu?
I didn't think this was tutu. This was.
I don't. It's a high-low dress made of tulle.
Let's look up what comes up on Google when we search tutu.
It's all going to be looks like Camden's. Honest to God, we'll talk about it. But
oh Jesus, not something else came up. Okay, it's tutu.
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to ask.
Let's see.
Yeah,
stuff like this kind of comes up. See, look,
really?
This is one of the things that comes up. Can we see? Do we see?
Oh yeah,
the virtual. Yeah, okay.
More like a skirt.
Kind of, but then she also has the if she didn't have the train in the back, I would have said this was a tutu.
Okay, all right.
It's borderline for me. I'm not mad at it because the look itself is fucking phenomenal.
Cool, right?
Again, the Amanda Lepore lips. I'm just like,
so cool.
I died, but yeah, I really did think that Willow should have won this challenge. I thought she did a really good job in both challenge and runway. And again, positioning herself after Jorgeous was the smartest thing she's done all season.
Totally.
We love a strategic mastermind.
We honestly do. And we don't see a lot of strategy in regular seasons of Drag Race anymore. And so honestly, I love to see it.
Willow for CBB season 4.
If it gets renewed.
That's
a strong if.
Yeah.
But all right, we move to Angie, who was fine.
I think she was like 4th.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Actually,
yes.
She said that Rue in drag looks like supermodel of the world, and out of drag looks like the superintendent of schools, which was one of my favorite jokes of the night. Honestly,
it really was.
She is, I will point out, the only person to roast Dulce Sloan.
Oh, yeah.
Where she says that Dulce is Diet Lizzo. Are you doing okay as hell? Another one of my favorite jokes, honestly. Ross is no stranger to bottoming weekly, which is why he would be the lip sync assassin of his Drag Race season. And then Ross is so gay that he jerks off to Lifetime Movie Network.
Something I do appreciate about Angeria is I think she said this with her the acting challenge too. She was like, listen, I've never acted before, but I'll be an actor today. Like, she just always is like down for it, you know? So I love that.
The comparisons have been made all season, but she honestly gives me a lot of the way that Jada competed on Drag Race. And like, Jada was very, very, very pageanty, but was able, and honestly, a lot of Trinity the Tuck as well. Like, coming in as a pageant queen through and through, but through Drag Race learning, oh, I can do acting. Oh, I can be funny.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I love to see, especially with pageant queens, is like breaking that traditional pageant mold a little bit. And as much as I love the pageant queens and like respect everything they do, obviously, it's nice to see the pageant queens sort of like break that mold. I loved this gown on Angie in the challenge. This yellow with the black hair looks absolutely stunning. This look on the runway, though.
It wasn't, I didn't think it was bad. But I don't know. It's just kind of a look for me. It's kind of just like a look that's a look. Like I don't have any certain feelings one way or the other.
Like I got the concept, I just couldn't find Tutu.
I was gonna say, is it Tutu? I'm not sure. I honestly would have taken out that middle ruffle at like the mid thigh.
Yeah.
And just honestly take that and just tuck it under the one at the waist. Like just use that tool and just put it, like make that a little bit bigger. And I think I would have probably liked it for a tutu runway. I think that probably would have qualified for me.
Or if just like the past the hip tutu part, it was like just her legs. I think that would be fierce too. Like with like a full shoe, because then it legitimately would be a tutu, you know.
I think just the difference. Oh, sorry.
You go ahead, Brendan.
I think just the difference for me, because like what kind of killed it for me, if I'll be honest, was of course the waist down. Although again, the concept was fine. I just didn't think for this runway specifically, like the waist down was needed. Personally.
And it really does truly come into consideration for all of us. Truly, the question at hand is, what is tutu? And I think we all need to take from this experience that, you know, tutu can be a myriad of things, and it can be whatever you need it to be.
Yeah.
And that's what Angie did here today. I don't like the look. I don't like it. I wish she had worn, honest to God, if she had swapped wigs from the challenge to the runway, I think I would have liked it a little bit better.
Oh. So she would just keep she would just keep the wig on, or
I would have done the blonde wig with the yellow gown, and I would have done the black wig with the chartreuse gown.
Okay.
Because I don't like it all kind of blends together a little bit, but I love her in this blonde color, just not with this color of gown.
Okay. Yeah. All right, I get it.
It's just kind of where I was at with it. But Angie, overall, a safe performance.
Yeah, I agree.
Perfectly safe. Daya Betty looked so good in the challenge.
Yeah, she really did. I'm like re-looking at it. I'm like, wow, she really did look good.
I think this was my favorite challenge look.
Yeah.
And it's very Daya Betty, so I love it. She starts out by saying she's terrified. So automatically I was like, yep, you're in the bottom. Cool. She makes the Michelle is what a man in a wig should look like joke. Sure, whatever. We heard that like 5 times during rehearsal. And that Ross's favorite candy is prep. Again, also something we heard from the rehearsal. And that's all I wrote down because the rest of the jokes were not good.
Yeah. Like something I'll say about this, and I wish like some of like the same stuff wasn't repeated from prior seasons. Because I'm thinking back from season 9, like some of these jokes were the same from what they said in season 9.
Someone's made the your favorite candy is prep joke. I don't remember. It might have been Trinity. Trinity or Peppermint may have made that joke.
Not Peppermint. So probably. I literally did watch season 9 roast before I watched this actually, because to prepare myself, because
it's a good roast.
Yeah, it is a good roast. So
I would say honestly, it might be the best roast.
I would agree with that.
Anything with Shea Coulee in it automatically takes it to the top.
Well, Peppermint killed it. Sasha did a really good job in that one. And then just like Pheromone and Alexis Michelle are just so bad that it's good.
I think what's surprising with Daya is I really like, and of course, like we mentioned earlier that a roast is such a specific type of stand-up, but I feel like Daya is just so good at roasting people, just like in a fun, like LOL, like just like talking amongst friends way. But obviously, I mean, we see.
Yeah, being shady, but like
being shady, it doesn't.
She's good at reading. She can't roast.
Totally.
I'm also thinking about the season 9 roast. I'm very upset with myself that I didn't start this whole roast discussion with "Let's get this roast to cooking." Because I literally made that joke in our Eurovision video earlier today when I recorded it, and I'm really disappointed with myself. So, This runway look, I absolutely love this from Daya.
Oh, this was a good one.
I really liked the hair too. Like the pink I think is just so pretty.
The heels did it for me here.
Yeah.
7'2" in these heels. She is 7'2" in these heels. Apparently she's like the third tallest drag queen to ever be on Drag Race.
Wow, I wonder who's ahead of her.
So I know the top 4, thanks to Tia Coffee tweeting it, because Tia is one of them.
Oh, okay.
So it's Tia, I don't know the exact order, but it's Tia Coffee, Daya Betty, Naomi Smalls, and Tempest du Jour.
Okay. Makes sense.
I think Tempest is the tallest.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tempest is like there.
Tempest is 6'6", I believe.
Oh wow.
And
wait, how tall is Milk? How tall is Milk?
6'2", I believe.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, Milk is like up there, but not like all the way up there. Quite literally, because tall.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I love this look from Daya. The roast just wasn't good.
Yeah.
And oh boy, we move into another really bad roast. God, I wanted this to be so good from DeJa, but it just... All I wrote down was her joke about Michelle not washing her vagina since season 4. Getting nice things said from all of the LA sports teams, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I thought that was good.
And then the only joke that she has that truly lands... This next queen needs no intro.
And just walks off. That was great.
That was a great joke.
Yeah, that was.
It was.
But...
And the runway just really wasn't...
That's a
there
flouncy
either.
dress. That's a flouncy tulle dress, my love. She looks great.
Someone was like, she looks like RuPaul's. Her hair looks like RuPaul's. What was it? Season like 12 promo look or something where RuPaul had that pink hair. And like a blue.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was just like, wait. I think that's 9.
The hair was like super.
I was gonna say, I think that's 9.
Maybe, I don't know. Past promo.
They all blend together. Yeah. They all blend together at this point, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just was so disappointed with DeJa.
It was tough. It was tough too. It's because she obviously knew that she wasn't doing good because she said it in the thing. Which
she literally was like, "Don't worry, I'm bombing up here." Yeah.
Again, I love how self-aware these queens are. Like they know know that they did better.
DeJa specifically has been really, really good about that this season.
Yeah,
totally. I love DeJa. I love DeJa Skye. I love DeJa Skye.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we move on to our last roaster?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is the Lady Camden, who I thought did a great job as well.
Oh, her hair is cool too. Her outfit, her whole thing. I'm like, wow. First time seeing it in 2 weeks. Yeah. She looks great.
Her outfit was really good. She makes the yeah joke. Thank God that's over. Yeah. Jorgeous. She makes a joke about Jorgeous wearing a headband as a dress, and she said, "And RuPaul will say, 'You're a superstar.'" And I was like, she knows. She knows. Knock, knock.
Are you asking who's there?
Yeah, I am, yes.
Who's there?
I don't know, but Michelle's a whore. That was my favorite joke of the night. It's so stupid and I love it. It's just so dumb. I love it. I love it so much. She says, Michelle translates to beautiful, and Visage translates to just kidding. So good. Ross Matthews, I'm sorry, my dear, but you represent the bottoms and the bottoms of the week. Oh, and then she was so good. And then the asshole jokes, which I didn't think were bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't mind those. I was like, oh yeah, maybe one
the
too
asshole
many,
coming back.
but...
Hey, bitch.
Yeah,
I really liked the Britney bitch one though, because that was the third one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dump his ass. Like that was funny for me.
Yeah.
Maybe I want Camden to win this challenge. Actually.
So, oh man.
I don't know.
Was this your winner, Brandon?
No. Willow was my winner still.
I'm gonna stick with Willow.
I really like the hair on Camden too.
Yeah.
This blue hair.
Pink. Blue. Oh, both. Both.
Yeah, this
those hairs are really cool.
Well, the runway. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hello?
Only tutu. Well,
the only actual tutu of the evening coming, of course, from the ballerina.
Daya definitely had tutu, because Daya's look was pretty similar. I mean, different interpretations, but pretty similar.
I'll amend my statement. The only traditional tutu.
I was gonna say traditional. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like this reminded me if again Brooklyn Heights Best Drag Runway.
Yeah.
So, because that was a good look on her.
Yeah. I'm glad she did also just like regular shoes instead of
I agree.
Like ballet shoes, because it just made, you know, I don't know. Because I noticed that too. I was like, oh, I'm happy she did that.
Oh, she's in a heel. Like, okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. So, yep, overall, boom. There's that. So, we go to critiques, and we find out that the winner of the challenge is Bosco. I'm fine with it. I would have given it to Willow.
Same.
But I'm cool with it. Good for you, Bosco. I really, honestly, truly think it was because she was literally eliminated in the last episode.
It fit the storyline, which is what makes it. Because I did laugh the most with Bosco's, but then like the back of my mind of being like, okay, it makes sense. Like winning, why? I don't know. I don't know if it dilutes it, if that's the right way to say it, but like her going home and then being saved narrowly and then being a winner, like
it counterbalances. It counterbalances. Oh no, this was completely producer.
Yeah,
like 100%. But it counterbalances, you know, the being eliminated of it all. So like whatever, cool. And then we find out it's a bottom 3 lip sync. Now, do we think that it was always going to be a double elimination after the golden chocolate bar? Because I do, in all honesty.
Probably, kind of.
I honestly think whatever episode it was used on, the next one would have been a double. I in my heart of hearts, I truly believe that. Again, I could be wrong, but I feel that in
was
my soul.
This bottom 3 justified at least?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. I think so. Okay. Yeah.
Because the next person up was Angie, and I thought Angie did a good enough job. I could have justified a bottom 2 of Daya and DeJa, honestly, is who I would have put in the bottom. Or DeJa and Jorgeous. I thought, because the difficulty is Daya had such a phenomenal runway look, but Jorgeous had more funny things come out of her mouth in the roast. So I guess in that regard, it evens it out, and then I guess bottom 3, sure, whatever.
I thought too, whenever DeJa and Jorgeous went home to jump to the elimination, I was like, their exit seemed like rehearsed. Did y'all not have the same energy?
I felt that too. Yeah.
I was like, it seems like they were like, okay, you guys are leaving. Take 5 quick minutes. Figure out what y'all want to say real quick.
Do we think it's the Jiggly Caliente of it all? Because y'all know about that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Do we think they got jigglied?
I don't know, because
probably
the whole time I was like them like happily joining hands. Like it had to have been something where they were like, they told them that they were leaving, and they were like, if you guys want to do something together, like here, like take 5 quick seconds, plan it real quick. Like it was just too.
Yeah. Well, and they both talk in their Whatcha-Packin' about how, like, if I had to be eliminated with anyone, I'm glad it was her. Because from what they said, they're incredibly close.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we didn't really see on the show necessarily. In a very similar way to, like, Angie and Jasmine being very close. We didn't really necessarily see that. But I think it was more so like, oh, if we're getting eliminated, at least it's both of us and not one of us like with Daya or
versus
something.
The other.
Yeah. Or we're not in the bottom 2 together. Exactly. Yeah. So we have DeJa, Daya, and Jorgeous lip syncing to Good For You by Olivia Rodrigo. And the moment I saw the song come on, I was like, okay, yep, Daya sings.
Yep.
And it was justified. I thought Daya did a great job. Jorgeous gave up and was going through the motions. And DeJa felt a little too happy for this song. But I thought Daya did a really great job with this lip sync, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, it's in her wheelhouse, and yes, I understand that. But I thought it was a really good lip sync overall.
Yeah. I honestly, because like, okay, I'm trying to think about this. Good song choice, obviously. I felt like they did this too soon.
Was it a good song choice? I don't necessarily know if this was a great lip sync song choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they can't do it because obviously her name is Deja, but I would have preferred Deja Vu.
Possibly, but when I think about this, because like I think they were trying to pick a more hard-hitting Olivia song. That's why they chose "Good for You."
Oh, of course, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like the reason why I say like because they filmed this in July, correct?
By this point, I believe it would have been June-ish.
June. So this song had only came out for a month before
the song came out before they started.
Yeah, it came out in May. So
before they started filming, I believe.
Yes. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the song came out in May, like the exact same time the album came out. For Sour. I was just trying to think. Do you think they could have waited a year to put Olivia on for lip sync?
I was really surprised to see an Olivia Rodrigo song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like they paid good money for the lips. We'll talk about the Final 5 lip sync song, but like they paid some good money. Like VH1 finally coughed up the money.
Yep.
Thanks to that sponsored by Cash App. They truly, like, the budget is there now. Like, can you imagine like more like slightly more well-known and better like Beyonce songs?
Well, even in Carrie Colby's talent show, didn't she have a Nicki song?
Anaconda, which they already had the rights to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because
like, they really
but
did.
still totally like renewing that because it was on All Stars 3, which was 4 years ago at this point.
Around there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like 4-ish years ago. But yeah, so like they already had the rights to that, but still, like they've had now we'll talk 3 Beyonce songs. When they've never had Beyonce as a solo lip sync artist before, but like sure, they got Good for You, which is like a great song. They paid for the En Vogue rights. They paid for Respect, which is crazy. They paid for Play. They paid for Love Don't Cost a Thing. Like they really upped the lip sync budget this season, and I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
They got Fallen, Alicia Keys, like.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hello.
I think the budget started from last season. So because I remember because I still to this day, like again, Boss by Fifth Harmony is still one of like the best song choices. I did not think that was a good lip sync though.
I disagree. I thought it was a great lip sync. And it deserved its double Shantae.
Who was in that one?
Simone and Candy.
Oh, that was the one where they were like, Rue was like, wait, Candy, you're staying too.
Where Candy won the lip sync, but Simone was going to win the season, so they had to save both of them.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Wow, what a moment.
That was last season, y'all.
That's so crazy. Wow,
there's been so much Drag Race in the interim that remember the first open homosexual contestant, Joey J. That was last season. Like, oh my god, time. Not even time, just the amount of Drag Race that's happening. And we got another
coming for you.
Not anymore.
Oh god.
She's not coming for me. I'm blocked.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
I'm blocked by Tamisha Ahmad.
Okay.
It's so funny. But yes, we do unfortunately say goodbye to 2 of my favorite queens from the season.
I know.
DeJa Skye and Jorgeous. It was time.
Yeah, it was time.
Totally.
They get a joint 6th though, so how fabulous for them.
Mm-hmm.
There's technically no 7th place on this season. It's just joint 6th. But yeah, so okay, episode 14. Not a lot happens. In all honesty. But we come back to the workroom. Obviously the double elimination, everybody's gagged over the double elimination still. I don't know how they expected to get from 7 to 5. We'll talk about it. Oh, God. But anyway, double elimination. They're gagged. Next day in the workroom, there's no mini challenge, maxi challenge, remix to Catwalk, which is now in my top 3 favorite.
Yeah.
It is in my top 3 favorite RuPaul songs of all time.
Yeah, I will say I won't be downloading the cast version because on like the cast versions of like season 9, that one is really good. The cast version, season 11 is really good. The cast version, this one I will not. I love Catwalk like the original, but I don't know. This one.
There were some highlights and some definite lowlights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was also so confused because when they were like, "And you'll be designing your thing," I was like, "Wow, they are throwing a lot at these girls." I was like,
"They got to design
like this, but they just literally drew it and sent it."
Yeah, I love that they got a designer to design their looks.
Yeah, that was cool.
Okay,
I was surprised about that. I was surprised about that.
Yeah, me too.
Same. I was like, I love it though, because like most of them turned out pretty good. We'll talk about the one that I didn't think turned out very good.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, I think just jumped right to it, right? What else?
Well, there's a little bit. So there's 2 things. One is the Tic Tac lunch.
Oh yeah.
And the only real thing that I want to discuss from this is with Willow, where they once again diminish the impact of her disease. And it's just gross. And I don't really necessarily want to talk about it further. I don't know if y'all have anything you want to add to it, but it's kind of weird and gross and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the thing where people are always like, someone will have a disability and they'll be like, "Oh, well, that's your superpower." And it's like, well, disability is not a bad word, you know? Like,
no.
Like there are things that are just hard for people to deal with, and that makes life harder. Like a disability is a disability, you know? It's not a bad thing to say that.
And especially because production has not been accommodating to her disability. Exactly. I think back to the design challenge.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it frustrated me even more.
Yeah.
Where like, y'all have done accommodations for other people in the past. I think of Evie Oddly. Like, I think in any other modern season with Evie injuring her ankle, she probably would have been sent home.
Oh, yeah.
And even Willow saying so far as like sometimes she has to use, she was saying like her elbow to apply makeup. I was like that. I even just saying that lets us in a little bit further to how severe it is for her hands. Sometimes, I mean, you know, for her hands, period, to have to go to the elbow, because that's hard in and of itself. I was trying to even imagine how that would be a thing, but it was a moment for sure. Yeah. The Tic Tac lunch.
Anyway, we move. Because the Tic Tac lunches are so generic and stupid and boring and demeaning.
And it's always like, let's go to your trauma. Like let's highlight your trauma. And
which
just,
is something they've been really good at, like they've been really good about doing in the correct moments on this season, up until this moment where RuPaul is directly involved in it, and then obviously it gets fucked up. But
and even like, was this like Lady Camden saying about how her brother like committed suicide, and like none of us knew that beforehand, but like just like sharing that real fast for this moment and then being sent to go compete in a challenge, like that's traumatic, you know?
It gives me Shea Coulee being asked about her parents at the season 9 finale right before she has to go lip sync for her life. Like,
yeah, just a lot of stuff.
RuPaul is not an agent of subtlety,
no,
or timing, and probably shouldn't host the show anymore. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about before we get to the challenge itself is they're learning the choreo in full drag. And at first I was confused. I was like, okay, maybe like the heels and like getting used to the outfit. Cool. Yeah, whatever. And then we find out they have to learn the choreography and then immediately do the performance. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just jump right into it. That was crazy.
No.
They said we really have extended this. We need to wrap it up, y'all.
They said, oh, we took an extra day or two to make your outfits. Cool. Y'all get no time for choreo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like,
Yeah. And then the workroom is like, oh, what was your first impression of me? Oh my God, I thought you were a total bitch. I don't know who said that about someone, but I think someone did. Anyway.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's how it kind of like read off.
Yeah, honestly. This episode was a whole lot of nothing. In all reality.
A lot of filler, totally.
And then, well, I mean, the ending isn't even a whole lot of anything. So, but we've got, so I have the remix looks. We'll talk about the verses because I do have the lyrics up. And then the category in the runway is You're a Winner, Baby. So not the typical finale eleganza extravaganza, which they're probably saving for the finale now. We'll talk about it, but
probably.
So first up in the challenge and on the runway was Bosco.
I like Bosco's runway. Did not like the verse or I don't really remember what even was said in the verse, but I remember she was saying in the talking head that she was going to say sorry for like the whole sorry to God thing and relating it back to the go ahead.
Well, don't you worry, Audrey, because I have the lyrics ready for you. Are you ready to find out what she said?
Yeah, I remember it wasn't what I thought she was going to say. And so when I heard the verse, I was like, didn't you say you were going to put something else that made sense? And then
so Bosco's verse goes, and it's not really in the pocket whatsoever, so I'm not even going to try to do it like the way it was performed. But it's, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I did show some skin. Don't fight. Shh. Give in. You can call me greedy. I feel that. The whole world, I need that. So ass out and horns up.
Yeah, it wasn't revolutionary.
I'm just going to go ahead and say the fact that Bosco wasn't in the bottom two in this episode is astounding to me.
Yeah, same. I was just like,
because this look is also like incredibly basic.
Which one? The runway?
Oh, the challenge. I love her runway look.
I think her runway does look good, but I did not, and it was rough too because Bosco started the song, and Bosco was the only one who kind of really like sang. Yeah. You know, everyone else was kind of more like talking, like
talk/rap, something like that.
Yeah, but hers was like singing.
It also confused me because typically in these, and they don't always have to be this way, but typically they go in alphabetical order.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't.
Yeah, because usually Angie would be first.
It would have been Angie, Bosco, Daya, Camden, because Lady Camden, and then Willow.
Yeah.
But Bosco opened the song for some reason. I'm still really confused. I didn't like it. I do love the trans flag coloring on the gown.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even notice that the first time, actually.
I didn't either until I like pulled the photo and I was like, oh, that's like white and pink. Okay, work, DeJa. Mm-hmm. Like, no, I think this is one of the best things Bosco has worn on the runway.
Yeah,
I really like it.
I couldn't tell if it was the angle, but for some reason for me, I think waist up for me, like just like that bodysuit, it didn't seem like it was like fitted.
It didn't seem like it was. It didn't seem fully fitted. The waist down was fitted for sure. Mm-hmm. I think this is a gown that may have been like designed to be worn with a breastplate.
I was okay.
I'm not entirely sure because that's where I had the issue. Was there was a little bit of separation on the side and in the bubicle area.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the fact that Bosco wasn't in the bottom was kind of astounding to me, honestly.
Yeah,
but it doesn't fucking matter, does it?
Yeah.
God help us. Okay.
We'll get
Next up is Angie. I really, really like the performance look. It's basic, but I like the color blocking in the middle. The shoulder pads are fine. Whatever. But Angie has a much better verse, so it's all good.
Yeah.
So her verse, check. We love a callback.
Yes. Check.
From the country to the silver screen, it's Angie, bitch, living out my dreams. I was always taught to walk with grace, confidence, poise, and tons of face. I've never been afraid to live out loud. I just wanted to make my daddy proud. And at the end of the day, I'ma always slay. Never let a bitch take my shine away. Is it fairly generic? Yes. Do I think she was in the bottom two only because she struggled in the rehearsal? Yes.
I don't, and again, I just watched the episode once.
Sure.
I don't think back and like Willow's performance in the challenge, or not Willow, Angeria's performance in the challenge doesn't stand out to me. And so for that, I don't know. I guess two or three really stood out to me. Bosco's because I didn't love it. And then the two that I did like. But Angeria's, I didn't think she did bad. I didn't think she did incredibly jaw-dropping in the challenge. I like the runway, though. I do like the runway. I think it's cool. I like the velvet.
The top asymmetrical bustle was just too big for me. But otherwise, I really like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was a solid look for me. Like, I do agree with the bustle, but other than that, like,
she managed to have this giant bustle and yet still have shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was
and
cool.
that's and she looks phenomenal. So, work, Angie. Daya Betty,
loved.
Who I thought should have been the winner of the challenge. I'm going to be honest.
Honestly.
Daya really did so good.
Daya, oh my God. Okay. You see me stomp the floor left to right, walk the runway with my heels sky high. Now take the picture, catch the light, clawed my way to the top. Now I'm taking what's mine. So I strut to the beat, and even if I fall, I shove a safety pin through it, and I stand real tall. Yeah, the mug is stamped and my waist is thinner, so you better be ready because I've always been a winner. I'm sorry. That's one of the best. Yeah. That's one of the best verses that's ever been written on Drag Race.
You better be ready.
Like, yeah, I didn't even catch that. That
we
was
love
great.
A callback to her entrance line.
And Daya really just like delivered to
the best verse, the best look, the best performance. Yeah. Why did she not get the win?
She did amazing. She did good.
And her final runway. This
cool,
is
right?
Stunning. Like, oh my God, the burned effect on it, like just all of it. God, I'm mad again that Daya didn't win this challenge.
Mm-hmm. Again, the storyline trying to like say like, ooh, like she again like this.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts that I want to save until we go through the motions of the rest of the episode. So
okay. Makes sense.
The lady Camden, who I also thought did a really good job.
Yeah, I did too. And I wasn't upset that Camden, spoiler, did win the challenge because I thought she did really good as well. I thought she looked so cool in the challenge too. Like her outfit really flattered her body. They
could have just given the win to Camden and Daya, right?
Honestly,
make up for the fact that they didn't give Evie the win in the Final 5 challenge on season 11. Just give it to Camden and Daya now.
Didn't? Who won?
No.
Who won?
No one did.
Oh.
They just.
I was like, how could you crown anyone other than?
They just didn't crown a winner, which would have given Evie a second win because she's the only winner to win with one challenge win. But so Camden's verse, L to the A to the D to the Y, like a shooting star straight to the sky. Gonna make you snap, gonna make you say, step, smack, and a pot of bouret. Twist, turn, levitate, act, pose, captivate. When I hit that stage, I'ma drive you crazy. Serve it to you like a lady. It's so good.
I loved it. Yeah, I love that.
I love this. I love the parts where she slowed it down. It all worked. It gave her, but also gave Catwalk in a very similar way to the way that Daya did. Yeah. I really truly thought they did. They should have both won.
Yeah, really good.
Both of them or no one, honestly, is kind of how I
honestly.
And this final runway look, just
really pretty.
Stunning.
Yeah. Really good.
It doesn't help Bosco that they were in the same color palette and Camden looks better.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, at least. But I thought
Camden white here.
Yeah, I would say I don't know if same color palette.
It's
Same
more like
kind
a
of vibe.
it's more like a silvery blue, which is like kind of the color palette that Bosco was giving.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'd be from the same planet.
Yeah.
Or like the same collection.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Honestly.
Like the attention to details to those earrings too. I was like,
her poor ears. Her poor ears.
The gloves are immaculate too. Like that's what I keep focusing on, is that just enunciated glove. Just oh god,
yeah,
so
cool.
What do we think of the catwalk outfit?
I liked it. I thought her body looked amazing. I was like, dang, okay, Camden.
This is the elevated Spice Girls drag that I've been waiting to see from Lady Camden, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Like that, like the is it the ripples? Yeah, what do I call it? Ripples?
On the side of the pants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess that's an accurate description for it. I don't know if that's the exact thing. Yeah.
I don't know who designed this, but like they really gave them the details that made this outfit like what it is.
I hope the queens shout them out like on Instagram when they post these looks eventually, because I'd love to know, because I think they did a great job. Whoever they are, they did a great job with all 5 looks, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, so Camden, great job. As we've grown to expect.
Mm-hmm.
So, last up is Willow Pill. Let's go to Willow's verse, where unfortunately, I have to start by saying, take a Willow Pill.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only time I'm gonna say it, because she's saying it, so she's embraced it. So I'm gonna accept it for this current time being.
Yeah, same.
So, take a Willow Pill, do my sick bitch looks, have you feeling ill, kick it up to the top because I came to kill, and give you back in my dreams where I like to chill. Cute, absurd, and a touch of ugly. I celebrate life, let's pour the bubbly. We live in a matrix, I'm the solution. Get lost in my sauce because it's an illusion. So good.
I loved Willow's too. I thought she did so good. Of course, I did notice the flubbing of the words during the performance.
I noticed.
So I understand why she didn't win or anything, but I was like, oh my god, she did so good. I loved the verse. I thought the final 3 girls, I thought they all did so good.
It honestly gives me the exact same thing, not the exact, but a very, very similar thing to what happened with Vanjie in the Final 5 challenge on season 11.
Yeah.
Season 11 today a lot.
The Miss
Miss Vanjie. Take it to the floor. Miss Latina, very nice to meet. Like one of the best versions of all time.
So good.
But she fucked it up in the performance, and Willow did flub the words a little bit. But I thought her overall vibe and performance was really good. I think the entire reason she was in the bottom was because of this runway look.
You didn't
really?
I don't love it. It is my least favorite of the 5.
Okay.
I thought it was cool.
I think it's cool. I think the issue I have is the fitting of the bustier, because it is kind of drooping on the sides, and it doesn't it seems like these were all different pieces that were put together. I like the mouse idea. Like the idea of it all is really cool for me, but it just feels like pieces that were put together that weren't necessarily supposed to be together. But I liked it. It's just
I can see why. Like, I love this because, again, the fact that she gave something very, very different from everyone else. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, she came out as a mouse. Like,
and Carson was saying something about, he was like, I just don't get it. Like, why would she do that? Like, that's not Willow. And it's like, I feel like this is very indicative of what Willow has given us so far. Yeah. So I don't think the whole, like, it's not Willow. Like, I don't agree with that Carson was trying to give. I think this is... I didn't get anything.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good.
But
you're good.
I think my big thing with it is like this is in the Willow universe. I just think there are there are looks that she's worn that are better than this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's just kind of.
I get it.
There's a standard.
The latex look is like so.
Which
good.
I've actually grown to like that look. I said I didn't
like it at first.
Oh yeah, no. Logan didn't like it.
Oh, you weren't here for that episode.
I'm like, was I not there? Because that's like
so.
My favorite look from the entire season.
Yeah, I didn't love that look at first. I've grown to like it. It's a good look. It's not
crazy.
Yeah, Jay and I were like,
yeah.
Oh.
I was just like, whatever. But
why not? What did you not like?
I don't know. The hands carrying like hair or whatever thing, it read very like trying to do what Simone did on season 13 with the nails, and it just wasn't executed as well for me. A lot of it was recency bias, I'm gonna be very honest, but
which is understandable
because I love Simone with every fiber of my being.
Yeah.
So like
who doesn't love Simone?
I actually know people that don't like Simone.
No way.
I've tried to convince them otherwise. They're not in the Church of Simone, and it makes me upset, and I don't talk to them as much as I do anymore. But anyway, that's that. We didn't pick a favorite runway from episode 13 either. So, favorite runway from both episodes.
I need a reminder.
I'll say Camden. Camden from this episode.
Bosco.
Camden from 13.
George, Willow, Angie, Daya, DeJa, Camden.
Okay, so for episode 13, mine was Daya.
Mine is also Daya.
Mine's Camden, then Daya. I'll say Camden for episode 13, Daya for episode 14.
And then 14 for me is Camden.
I'm going to say Daya for both.
Wow, there we go.
I think so. Yeah.
And then for the catwalk, my favorite was Daya.
I'm going to say Daya again.
I'm trying to think. I think mine was Camden for catwalk.
Okay.
I'm gonna do what I've done all episode talking about catwalk. I'm gonna have Daya and Camden tie. That's my favorite looks from the catwalk.
Yes.
And then roast performance looks. Again, I'm going to give it to Daya.
Yep.
Yeah, Daya and Camden both did really good.
Daya really has turned it up the last couple episodes, honestly.
On Pit Stop, Bob was like, honestly, I want Daya to win. And I was like, honestly,
I kind of do too.
Yeah, exactly. Daya's just done really good, and Daya has just brought the reality TV aspect.
Honestly,
you know?
Honestly.
Yeah. Let's jump through the lip sync really quick and then talk about our winner picks, because I think I have one. I'm not really sure.
I tweeted about it, so
I saw yours. I've kind of tweeted it, but I'm like, whatever. So
I'll talk about it later.
We do find out that the Lady Camden wins the challenge, her third challenge win. Sure. Completely sure, lovely.
Either way, she should have had at least 3 by now, so we'll take the third being now.
Right?
Yeah, because the one episode that she should have won.
Design challenge.
I feel like she
when Jorgeous won, which shouldn't have won.
Design challenge, and the 2 challenges the 3 challenges she's won. Yeah, justifying that in my mind. And then we find out that the bottom 2 is Angie and Willow, and I was like,
I was
freaking out. I was crying. I was screaming.
I was shaking because I was just like, if they eliminate Willow here, I'm quitting.
Yeah.
And so, see, this was. I had mentioned how I was spoiled, and so this was the first thing I see on Twitter was the 2 of them, and I was like, luckily followed very shortly by, we're so happy that the 2, that everyone's got, but. So it wasn't as impactful for me in the moment, but could you imagine? Because we keep talking, like the last few weeks were like, could you imagine if they're Ms. Crackered at the end, like one of Willow or Angeria, like having started so strong and then...
I was afraid of that.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. We've touched on it. I'm just going to go ahead and say, no one goes home again. It is the 6th non-elimination episode of season 14, and we have a top 5 going into the finale. Cool, whatever, cool. So, here's what I've been dying to say this entire season.
Oh, God.
I didn't know, like, spoilers, we didn't know who the top 4 was.
Oh.
All we've known for the last 6 months is that Angie and Willow were in the bottom for this episode, and both eliminations were filmed.
Oh.
Allegedly.
How crazy.
I've been sitting on this for like 6 months, and I'm like,
sorry.
And I guess so have they. They, right?
Well, it makes me think maybe both eliminations weren't filmed, and in fact, the double Shantae was the only one that was filmed.
Because could you imagine their nerves going into the airing of the episode had they just not known?
Well, and I think there's a lot of stuff going on allegedly at the finale. So I think like you have to give them enough time to do it, which is why, again, I don't necessarily think that part of the spoiler was 100% true.
Has the finale already been?
No, has it? Okay.
Yeah, it was filmed on the 6th.
Okay, I was going to say, I know it's usually pretty recent.
It was filmed last Wednesday in Vegas, where they do Drag Race Live. I tried to get tickets and I wasn't successful. I submitted for tickets and didn't get them, and I was kind of sad about it. But we moved nonetheless. So Angie and Willow lip sync to Telephone. Hello!
Third Beyonce song of the entire season. And then they had the budget to do Telephone of all freaking songs. And I'm like, I freaking screamed at this watch party. I was just like,
good.
Holy shit. Like, they actually did this.
The lip sync was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
I liked it. I thought it was cute.
Yeah, the difficulty is just they're both in gowns.
Oh, I felt so bad. Willow like kept trying to pile up her stuff. That was
the one comment everyone was talking about. Like, you're gonna make them lip sync in gowns.
Honestly, honest to God, I would have rather had them switch it and do Telephone last week with the bottom 3 and do Good For You now.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Because I still think in that scenario, I still think Daya wins.
Yeah.
But I love when the two girls are like so like good friends, and so then they like start ending up like doing the lip sync together.
This was
like
so Rujubee for me. This was so Rujubee for me.
It was very Rujubee, but they still like served that lip sync how they did.
I'm gonna be honest. Y'all know how much I love Angie. Willow won this lip sync.
Yes, I thought Willow won this.
Yeah,
I definitely. My knees are still hurting from watching her go down.
I just think back to UK season 2, where literally I think every single person, like Tia slammed on her knees multiple times. Lawrence Janey slammed on her knees like multiple times. I'm like, literally, and I was like, Willow, I literally was watching the lip sync. Screamed out. I was like, Willow, you are a fragile being. Stop this.
Like, anytime I think about it, I'm like, do these people like just not own knee pads? Like, cool if you want to do that, but I feel like wear the protection of knee pads because
question. Do they have padding when it comes to that? Like,
so I actually know a couple queens that have that in their like padding like tight situation that are like sewn in. They have specific like knee pads literally sewn into their tights, so that way it cushions the fall.
Yeah, because I'm thinking back, because like I know Trixie and Miss Cracker does have those type of tights.
Yes,
and because like I was trying to think, do they have these too? So I was just like wondering about that. So like once Willow got on her knees, like of course I was like hollering. I was like, yes,
of course, yeah.
I was just like, oh, and then of course I also had that mind in my thought. I was just like, oh God.
Like, you are a fragile being, please stop.
Oh yeah, I just it was very much that I could feel how she probably felt in the next morning with how much that probably hurt, because that's like a hard floor too. Like, it's not carpet,
but at least now she gets to like fully recover. That was the end of the competition. I don't think in any other circumstance she would have done that, but like
totally.
It's the final lip sync before the crowning, so like whatever, cool. But no one goes home, and for the first time in Drag Race history, I'm truly not surprised we have a final 5 going into the finale.
Honestly,
and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.
No. I'm not mad at it. I'm honestly not mad at it.
With this cast has just been one of the best casts in a long time. Top to bottom, one of the best casts. But I must ask, who do you think should go home tonight and why? No kidding. I'm limiting each one of us to one person because I want to say all 5 of these people, and in reality, any one of the 5 of these queens could win and I'd be happy. But I'm going to limit us one person. Who do you want to win and why?
Okay, so Audrey, you want to start?
I think Brandon, you could take it away.
Yeah, I have my answer.
I was gonna say I could start too if y'all want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you care?
I'll go.
Do you care?
I'll go.
Okay.
Sure. I don't care.
Go.
So my pick, I've kind of talked about it over the weeks.
Wait, should we do who we think should win and who we think is going to win? Should we do it that?
Who we want and who we think?
Well, even just like who we think should and then who we think is going to. So however you want to interpret that. Let's do it that way.
My answer is going to be the same for both, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of talked about it over the last couple of weeks. Like my winner picks have kind of shifted and it's been very, very fluid. I think for me at this point, given the body of work of this season and given, the trajectory, the track record, everything like that, I am going to give it to Lady Camden. I really think like she came out of absolutely nowhere in a way that honestly, it kind of is the same sort of trajectory that Jada had. Honestly, is like Jada was very, very strong at the start. So was Camden. Jada kind of came out of nowhere and in a very similar way, she didn't win her season, but in a very similar way also to Angeria, where Angeria wasn't really considered a threat at the start of the season, ended up making Final Four with one of the best track records. And I feel very similarly with Camden. Like she came out of almost nowhere, started winning these challenges, started truly showing how amazing she is as a drag artist. We knew that from the start of the season. From her promo, I was like, hello, come on, yes. But for me, she's had the most transformative journey of any of the final five on this season. And so I'm gonna definitively, as much as I love Angie and Willow and Bosco and Daya, I'm gonna give it to Lady Camden.
Mm-hmm.
I give it to Lady Camden as well. I don't agree with your Jada comparison. I think Jada started really good and just was like a mainstay throughout. But
sure.
I heard something in the background.
Sorry, I think that was me because my brother was laughing in the background.
I'm pretty sure it's you because there's only one other person in my house currently and he's taking a nap.
Okay. Sorry about that.
But I do agree that I think Lady Camden is going to. I hope Lady Camden wins because I also agree with. I think Lady Camden has just shown I think she has really left it all on the table here, where I think everyone else really could bring more, also continue to bring more, I should say, in an All-Stars. So I think Camden.
I think Camden could do that as well. I just don't necessarily know what she would bring.
Yeah, totally.
Whereas I think the drag character of Willow and the drag character of Angie and Daya. Bosco and Daya, honestly, I think all of them could have an evolution moving forward that I think would be really, really transformative. And I think all five of them would do very well in an All-Stars as well. So
totally.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Okay, so I tweeted about this. But I'll, like you said, you're only limiting to one. I'm also gonna say Lady Camden.
Wow, yay! There we go.
Okay, because like you said, she has the most transformative one. She really surprised me in the design challenge. It's that was week 3, correct?
Yeah. I think
week 5 technically. Week 5 technically.
What are weeks?
Honestly. Anyways,
what is this journey that we've been on this season of Drag Race? Honestly, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, because like you said, Camden has surprised us throughout the entire season. Surprised me, of course, with the design challenge. And of course, the other challenges that she won, aka what was it? Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge and the acting challenge.
Maxine.
That
was another moment that I was just defining for Camden. I was just okay, hell yes. In my tweet, I said either Camden, Willow, or Daya for winner. Okay. Reason why I said Willow because she also had the surprises, but we kind of saw that coming because she was a silent killer Brooklyn Heights.
Just so cool. Yeah.
And then with Daya, she had another journey with her being a good villain, even though editing failed at it.
Yeah.
But honestly love how she went from eliminated to the top 5.
It's very season 5 tease of we have the villain of Roxy Andrews now as Daya. We have Alaska I think would be, or Willow would be the Alaska in this situation.
Yeah.
And then Camden is the Jinx in the situation.
I would maybe reverse those two.
Oh, really?
A little bit, because I think the Jinx of it all, I think, is a little bit more synonymous with the Willow of it all. I think in that Jinx and Willow are both these very lovable, quirky characters, where Camden and Alaska both have their own quirks, but they're like...
I'm thinking more of like people... I feel like Willow is one of those characters where people just look back and are like, wow, Willow is so cool. And I have that with Alaska. Maybe that's just me. Like, I have that with Alaska of like, wow, Alaska is so cool. And like Lady Camden, I'm like, I love Lady Camden the same way I'm like, wow, I think like I love Jinx. But it's just like a different kind of energy.
Sure.
You know?
No, totally. I understand that. Brandon, I will challenge you once again. Because we do now have a second place prize. Who do we think, now that we've all said Lady Camden, who do we think is going to be runner-up to Lady Camden?
Oh, no, that's a harder question. Oh,
I know. God. I don't even think I have my answer yet, but...
It's going to depend on the format, I think.
It probably depend on the format, but if we're going with pre, because like I did have a pre-winner, obviously that was Cornbread, unfortunately. And then,
mine was DeJa, so I understand.
So I think if it had to be runner-up, oh god, I might have to say Daya for this.
That's completely fair. Odd.
I don't know, because I'm trying to think, because I keep going back to, I really thought that the final two last year was going to be Mick and Simone, just based on like energy going into the finale, but then it just wasn't because of how the format was, and so I'm just like, I have no idea. Sure. I could see Daya though. I think Daya is a good fit for second.
I'm gonna base it on what because I don't know the exact format of the finale. I've heard rumblings, but I don't know. I'm gonna assume it has. I'm gonna base it on what they did with season 13, where I think there's gonna be a fashion or ball element.
One can
potentially.
One can
I think
which I actually love. I
do too. I hope they do it. It's one of the things that's rumored. I have no confirmation of that, but like, if
it's rumored, you can say it to me, honestly. So
it's rumored that there's some sort of fashion element, but I know nothing really else other than that.
Okay.
If I'm gonna go off of if there's a fashion element and there's a performance element, that's what I'm gonna base my decision on. I think given the combination of those two, I think I'm gonna give it to Angie.
Okay, I like that.
Because I think combining both fashion and... Because I think Daya definitely is a great choice for both of y'all. I kind of just want to be a little different as well. Just so that way we're not all three saying the exact same people.
I get it.
But I also truly stand behind the fact that I think Angie would be a very deserving runner-up. In the way that I think, honestly, any of them would be a deserving winner or deserving runner-up. But I'm going to base this one a little bit more on the format that I think we're going to be getting a little bit in it. And also just, I've been an Angie stan since day one. So I would like to see her at least be top two.
Yeah.
If not win. So I'm going to say Angie.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, Willow at the front was my winner pick. Like, because I always go based on the, walk-ins part and like the first intro looks. And so what was it, season 12 I picked Jada. I was like, oh, she's perfect. Then season 13 I was like, Simone, she's perfect. Oh, so cool. And then I thought Willow's like walk-in with the like the white outfits and flip-flops was so cool. So I was like,
where am I?
It has to be her. But we'll see.
I mean, I picked mine from the promo looks and only the promo looks. I picked DeJa this year. The only time I've ever gotten it right is season 9, where I predicted Sasha Velour.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Sasha Velour is the only winner I've predicted based solely on the promo.
Yeah.
But Sasha's one of my favorite queens of all time.
Oh, so cool.
But yeah, so we will be back maybe next week. We're debating whether if the reunion has a lot of juicy stuff, which I mean, this was RuPaul's Best Friends race. Honestly,
yeah, I don't think there'll be anything.
I don't think there's going to be anything groundbreaking or juicy in the reunion. So chances are more likely than not, we will just incorporate that into our finale coverage, which will be
Season 9 really, so sorry to jump in. Season 9 was
good.
Perfect.
Right?
The reunion was so good. The whole competition was so strong.
I think season 9 is my favorite season now, honestly.
And the finale, while devastating for Shay, was
phenomenal,
it was still
for
compelling.
Sasha and Peppermint,
like it was a compelling finale, you know? So so good.
I really think, honestly, you take 4 years, or you take 5 years between seasons, and they're the transformative seasons, because I would say season 4, season 9, season 14 is kind of this like rebirth of Drag Race, if you will. So I'm excited for season 19 coming next year. Anything could happen. Smile. But yeah, so most likely we'll be talking about the reunion and the finale both in 2 weeks. But with that, thank you all so much for joining us. Autumn, Brandon, as always, thank you. We've been on a very, 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 very long journey with this season of Drag Race. And I'm sad to see it coming to an end, but I'm also very excited to see it coming to an end.
It's so weird to think about, because how a couple weeks ago we were saying this season is dragging forever, and now we're getting close to the very end.
I know. It happens every season where I'm like, oh no, Drag Race, but also like Espana's happening. Other things that we've talked about previously might be happening soon.
Yeah, Logan, I'm gonna say this right now. I will be watching Espana soon, so I might come on coverage maybe. So we'll have to see about that.
Great. Espana, I think I'm gonna wait definitively until after this season. I think Espana is my favorite franchise.
Dang. Okay.
It's just incredibly solid. It's just incredibly solid across like the 2 episodes we have of this season, which go check out our video. It will have already come out by the time this one comes out. So go check that out. Eris and I talk a lot about a lot of lovely queens, and some we don't like. But no, with the canceling of Drag Race Holland and the announcement of Drag Race Sweden, there's more Drag Race coming.
There we go.
Smile.
Oh God.
I barely have time for all the things we're doing right now.
Same, honestly.
We got this.
Also, why did your lighting just like bolt all the way up?
Mine did?
Yours did.
Oh, I don't know.
It went.
My lamp has been acting weird because I don't have a ring light yet. I just have a lamp.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have. It's just a standing lamp in front of me.
Honestly, work. Like I love it. I love it.
It works for what I needed to. So yeah,
we love the finesse.
Oh, truly that.
Meanwhile, my streaming setup.
I'll have one eventually. I just don't have it yet.
It's not that expensive. I'll let you know that. No. So
yeah,
but yeah, like I'm just glad that we're getting like a point of Drag Race now, where it's just like, oh boy, we're at the end, but it's just like it feels so weird because like again we were talking like just a month ago how it's just like this is a never-ending season, and now we're like
and I'm pretty sure we're gonna have like 3 or 4 seasons happening in the next like 3 months.
Yeah.
And we'll be here to talk about as many of them as we possibly can. So
depending on how my schedule permits.
We've got a lot of Drag Race fans in our group, so you know the drag will be here to be talked about. It might not always be the same people, but with that, thank you so much for joining us for a double dose of Drag Race US. Make sure to follow all of us on Twitter because we're great and we tweet about great things. Make sure to follow the podcast down at the Cup_reality for all of the most up-to-date Cup news. Subscribe, like, and share on the way out. And cheers to you all. Woo. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Stan Lady Camden for clear skin. Goodbye.